I've been talking about wisdom for several days, and we're going to do that again today. And I encourage you to take a look back at Second Chronicles, Second Chronicles chapter 1, verses 7 to 13. This is yet another. There are several versions of Solomon inheriting the kingship from his father David. And Solomon famously asked God for wisdom. And our verse for the day is Second Chronicles chapter 1, verse 10. Where Solomon says, "Give me now wisdom and knowledge to go out and come in before this people, for who can rule this great people of yours?" There's a book that came out, I think back in the 1970s. I can remember seeing it in our house when I was growing up. My dad had read it, and I ended up looking at it also, and it was called The Peter Principle. And the thesis of this book basically was that people got promoted up to the level of their incompetence. And what that meant is you might be really good at doing a task, working in a company, for example, and you do such a good job working at that task that someone says, you're such a hard, diligent worker, we should make you a manager. But the thing that makes someone successful as a manager are not necessarily the same skills that made you successful doing that task. And sometimes people who are successful managers get promoted. Oh, we're going to make you a vice president of the company because you're such a great manager at this level. But when they get promoted to vice president, again, it takes a different leadership skill set and more leadership than management. And so the basis of the Peter Principle is we tend to promote people up to the level where they can't function. They can't do the next level that needs to be done. And it can be difficult, even painful, to see people who are given a job or responsibility, and sadly, they just don't seem to have the capacity, the skill, the ability to learn to carry it out. And we often see this in culture in every different field you can imagine, from religion to sports to politics, you name it. Well, here in Second Chronicles, Solomon is praying to God for wisdom and knowledge because he has the ability to recognize he's being promoted to a very huge level of responsibility. There is no greater human responsibility than being the king of an entire nation. And so kudos to Solomon for having the humility and the wisdom already to recognize that what he needs from God is wisdom and knowledge to carry out this sacred and very, very critical responsibility. I don't know what you're facing in your life. I'm guessing it's not quite as much responsibility as having to rule an entire kingdom, but it probably is. But whatever it is that you're facing, you would do well, and so do I, to follow the example of Solomon. Whatever decisions you're wrestling with, whatever challenges you face, pray for wisdom and knowledge to do what God would have you do.